conducting this year's Scottsboro State of the City address for the opportunity of getting back to face-to-face meetings. And so thank you for joining us this morning. I would also like to thank this year's and this event's sponsors, Scottsboro Electric Power Board and Scottsboro Water, Sewer, and Gas. We appreciate and value their partnership with the Chamber for many years. After the review by the mayor, we would ask that if you have questions, enter them in the chat box, and the mayor will answer them after the meeting and get them back to you. We are certainly honored this morning to have Mayor Jim McCamy of Scottsboro present this year's first State of the City address. Mayor McCamy was born and raised in Scottsboro, and he has served the citizens of Scottsboro, Jackson County, and our congressional district for over 30 years, serving positions as district director for Congressman Bud Kramer, 5 years as area coordinator for the State of Alabama Emergency Management, 10 years as director, Jackson County Emergency Management Agency, and now as mayor of Scottsboro. Thank you, Mayor McCamy, for being with us to present the Scottsboro State of the City address.
Thank you, Bill. I appreciate it. Good morning, and thank you for joining us today. As you can see, we are maskless here, but we are socially distanced. So please stay safe and continue to take precautions. I need to thank several individuals and organizations that have made this possible. First, thank you to Mountain Lakes Chamber of Commerce for hosting and coordinating, specifically Chamber CEO Rick Roden, Chamber Chair Bill Nance, and the Mountain Lakes Chamber staff. To the Jackson County Economic Development Authority and Executive Director Nathan Lee for allowing us to use their virtual capabilities to deliver this address today. To the Scottsboro City Council for being supportive, engaged, and involved in what we are working to accomplish together. To Katie Kirkland and Clint Sebring of our City Hall staff, who have definitely helped put this together and help make it possible. And a big thank you to the city's strongest asset, our city employees, who work daily to maintain and improve our community. You know, COVID has obviously had a tremendous impact on everyone this past year, to include how we were communicating this morning. We tried to wait so we could do this in person, but it got to the point we needed to proceed, and a virtual meeting was the best option. One positive aspect has been those of us who may be a bit technologically challenged have been given an opportunity to become a bit less challenged. Again, I do appreciate Nathan Lee and Jackson County EDA for their help in delivering this virtually from their office. Before I get into specifics of where we are and where we're going, I first want to mention 3 recent events for the past 2 weeks. First, it is springtime in North Alabama, and we have had our share of severe weather in the past 2 weeks. We were fortunate here, and although we had significant flash flooding and potentially some more, we did not experience the devastating and fatal tornadoes like some of our neighboring communities. I ask that you please keep these communities in your thoughts and prayers as they work to recover from the past severe weather. Last week, City Council recognized the Scottsboro High School boys basketball team. This year was the first time for us to make it to the Final Four since 1967. Congratulations to Coach Bell and this year's Scottsboro High School Wildcats. And especially thank you to the citizens of Scottsboro for continually showing your support throughout the season. This past Friday, we officially unveiled the Scottsboro Boys mural on the square. Ms. Katie Kirkland and the Main Street Scottsboro Board did an incredible job of bringing this to reality. Working with the Scottsboro Boys Museum Board, they retained Mr. Don Howard, a nationally renowned African-American artist, to produce the mural. This artistic concept was vetted by the Scottsboro Boys Museum Board. Various thoughts were presented along with historic as well as current pictures. Mr. Howard selected the pictures, the final concept, which was then approved by the Scottsboro Boys Museum Board. This mural accurately connects our past and those involved in 1931 to the present, with the prayer walk from the museum to the square on June 14th of last year. We owe a debt of gratitude to everyone involved for this accurate and fitting depiction of our past and present. You know, 7 months ago, I committed to foster a culture of communication, collaboration, and cooperation. This culture, utilizing these three elements, is creating transparency and positive outcomes throughout city government as well as the community as a whole. We have a great start with this effort, and that will continue to be a priority as we go forward. To that end, the Commercial Development Authority, the Downtown Redevelopment Authority, Main Street Scottsboro, Goose Pond Colony, Jackson County Economic Development Authority, Scottsboro Industrial Development Board, and the Mountain Lakes Chamber of Commerce all play a significant and impactful role in the positive development of Scottsboro. Last December, we initiated regular meetings among this group of community leaders to ensure we are all on the same page and pulling collectively in the same direction. We have continued that practice, and each of those groups has had positive input getting to where we are today and where we want to be. The City of Scottsboro is currently financially sound. Considering the pandemic issues of the past year, we have remained solid. Total budgeted revenue for FY21 is $22.79 million. The major contributor to this revenue is sales tax at 45.4%, followed by property tax, business license, TVA in lieu of tax, county designated sales tax, and garbage collection fees. Our revenue for those sources is being received as planned and expected. Sales tax revenue is positive in the amount of $429,053 for the first 4 reporting months of FY21. All departments at this time are within budgeted funds. As well, our business licenses show a 5.2% increase over this time last year. The city has a total budget of $22.78 million for FY21. Major departments that make up most of the budget are fire, police, street, sanitation, landfill, and recreation. As with most municipal governments, the major expense for the budget is salary and benefits, which makes up 58.4% of our budget. Scottsboro currently enjoys an A+ bond rating, which is excellent for a community of our size. We are currently in the middle of our annual audit, and we expect and look forward to a very positive audit outcome. One of the things I heard most about last year was the condition of our streets. That's one of the top concerns in our city. In November, I committed to establish both a short-term and a 5-year resurfacing plan. The City Council is fully engaged in supporting this resurfacing effort and has budgeted $200,000 for resurfacing in FY21. In Scottsboro, we have some 399 named streets that cover about 180 miles. That's significant for this area. We asked for input from all city departments, Scottsboro Board of Education, and the Water, Sewer, and Gas Board to develop a priority list and support developing a priority list for repaving. We then developed the initial street resurfacing package based on scheduled repairs and projects that needed to be completed before we resurface certain streets. This initial package consists of 5 streets, and bids should be opened on April the 8th. Once we award the bid, we will move forward with the first year of the resurfacing plan and begin developing years 2 through 5. Additionally, the city received last year $253,000 in targeted industrial access funds for the reconstruction of LaQuire Drive in the industrial park. Additionally, the city was awarded over $950,000 in Highway Safety Improvement Program funds targeted towards a safety upgrade for US 72 and County Park Road. That $950,000 alone was not sufficient to complete everything needed to adequately improve this intersection. In November, we applied for and were awarded a $1.48 million Rehabilitation Alabama Transportation Rehabilitation and Improvement Program, or ATRIP2, grant that will be used to effectively complete the upgrade to that intersection. We are working to get the final engineering completed so the project can go for bid as soon as possible. The city has also received $66,000 from the High Risk Rural Road Fund, another targeted fund, to install guardrails to the bridge on Snodgrass Road. The contractor will be starting that project in the next few weeks. I also committed to do everything we could to make Scottsboro more business friendly. I've asked our city engineer, Mr. Josh Little, to review our planning and zoning ordinances to determine specific areas that we can improve and help make us more business friendly, but still maintain the integrity of our planning and zoning. He has completed that review and will be presenting it to the Planning Commission for their review and approval, and then to the City Council for approval. This will support our next effort, which is to meet with and solicit input from local contractors and builders to identify areas where we can improve our building and inspection process. We do continue to clean up our city. The city received a grant in 2019 to help fund the removal of some blighted and dilapidated structures. There were 25 structures originally identified, and those were removed in February. We were able to add an additional 5 locations. Those 5 sites are currently being addressed. Once all are complete, we will follow up, adding dirt to level the sites, sow grass, and improve the appearance of all of these sites. Another casualty of COVID has been our litter and debris cleanup, however. We have not been able to utilize inmates from the city jail in about a year. As we are able to relax some of the COVID restrictions, we fully intend to utilize inmates to help with this effort. Where are we with our economic and retail development? We were fortunate to have one new industry added to our city in late 2020. Carpenter Metal Solutions is now located in the former Burlington building on Woods Cove Road. We met with the Chief Financial Officer of Carpenter Metal about 3 weeks ago, and they are working to complete their relocation to Scottsboro. They currently have 20 employees and will provide additional jobs when they are fully operational. CFD Research is completing a new building located in the Scottsboro Industrial Park in Hollywood. CFD currently has 10 employees, with more coming up on completion of the new facility, and that's moving along very well. Recently, we met with local realtors to identify ways to help develop increased housing opportunities. We have a serious issue actually at this point. Currently, there are only 51 listed homes for sale in Jackson County, 17 in Scottsboro. That creates a problem for individuals wanting to move here. It is obviously a seller's market. Based on a study conducted by Deloitte, who is a multinational professional services network, there are expected 25,000 plus jobs coming to the Huntsville area in the next 3 years. These will be direct jobs. They don't include the potential Space Command and some other recent considerations. These will be direct jobs. All of those new residents aren't going to want to live in Huntsville. They will want to be in a place with the natural beauty and space we have here to enjoy their families and the outdoors. We intend to make a case for as many of those new residents to consider Scottsboro as we possibly can. To support that effort, we need additional housing, lots, and retail growth to be successful. Together, Jackson County EDA, Mountain Lakes Chamber of Commerce, and Impact Learning Center have conducted some 6 job fairs since November of 2020 to support the employment needs of our existing industries. Undoubtedly, the most significant and exciting recent announcement is the retail development by White Development. This was truly a team effort and will provide over 80,000 square feet of retail space with at least 3 additional out parcels. The development will be anchored by Publix and will include 2 to 3 other national brand stores. Construction is expected to begin in the next 3 to 4 months, and when complete, will provide well over 100 new jobs for Scottsboro. This will be a transformational development for our community. One project that has not been significantly discussed to this point is the Singing River Trail. The Singing River Trail, or SRT, is a long-distance trail in North Alabama that will connect communities along the river, provide active living opportunities for residents, and spur further economic development for the region. What began initially as a 70-mile trail in north central Alabama is now a trail that spans from Bridgeport to the Shoals. This is a quality of life issue that is very important, not only to families who live here now, but those who will want to be relocating to North Alabama in the next 3 to 5 years. If we hope our children will want to return here, to keep our younger residents here, and to attract many of the new residents to North Alabama, this is an effort we must participate and invest in. To support this point, another reality of COVID has been the increased pursuit of enjoyment of outdoor activities. Being geographically positioned between Huntsville and Chattanooga, we will reap enormous economic benefit from this opportunity if we are willing to establish Scottsboro as a true recreation destination. This is truly a build it and they will come opportunity. We'll be talking a lot more about that in the near future. I also committed 7 months ago to a master plan. We know where we've been. We know where we are. We must determine where we want to be and how we're going to get there effectively. I am proposing the development of a master plan for the city of Scottsboro that looks 10 to 20 years down the road. This plan will consider all elements of growth and what is needed to support that growth, as well as quality of life opportunities. This is not just to look toward economic growth and attracting new citizens. It is also critical to maintain the quality of life we enjoy and want to maintain with our families every day. Earlier, I mentioned the flooding from last week. Challenges like this can be identified and addressed early on with proper planning and coordination, so they are not as impactful. Transportation needs can be identified and planned for. Zoning, planning, and building needs can be better determined. Recreational needs can be identified and pursued. As an example, we currently have a few nice walking trails in and around Caldwell Park, Veterans Complex, and Veterans Memorial Park. And a sidebar, if you haven't experienced the beautiful Veterans Memorial Park, I urge you to visit first during the day and then after dark. It is a very moving and emotional experience both times, but especially at night. We also have walking trails at City Park, County Park, and Goose Pond. Presently, we have no biking trails or lanes, but we do have an opportunity to better develop and connect all of these by participation in the Singing River Trail. Planning such as this will help determine goals and objectives and give us a roadmap of how to get there. Reaching these goals will require communication, collaboration, and a lot of cooperation, both internally and externally. This is an exciting time to live in the city of Scottsboro. We are incredibly positioned geographically, and I hope willingly, to accomplish some of these great things. But it is going to take all of us to do it. I will continue to work to make Scottsboro a great place to live, work, and play. Thank you for listening this morning. I expect to do this face-to-face with you next year. But for now, please stay safe, get your vaccine as soon as possible, take care of one another, and buy local every chance you have. Thank you again, and God bless.
Thank you, Mayor McCamy, for your time being with us today. And I want to thank you for your service and your leadership for our city of Scottsboro.
Thank you, Bill.
Yes, we can certainly see that the state of the city is sound. All of you who have joined us this morning, thank you for doing that. And we would ask that you have a great week and stay safe. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.